Welcome to Andy D. Cole's podcast. Please like, share and subscribe.
Welcome to Andy D. Cole's podcast. Press like and subscribe.
Welcome to Andy Decodes. Sit back and enjoy. And into the unknown.
Hello, and welcome to this morning show. I don't know what time zone anyone's in. I've been sat in the wrong room for the last 40 minutes.
It's fine, time doesn't exist.
No. Oh yeah, forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually sat in the wrong stream wondering where everyone was till about 25 past. And I'm like, oh yeah. So it would have been a weird one tonight. Oh.
Then we lost Michelle.
And then we're all dropping like flies.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, welcome tonight. We have the wonderful Dominic Zenden, and somewhere in the abyss is Michelle Gray.
Down the rabbit hole.
Possibly. Yes.
Yeah. Hi, Andy. Hi, Nicole. Nice to be here.
Yes.
Hi.
Thank you for coming on. So this stream is the one that's going to be the last Friday of the month. That's what we arranged. But this month and next month, it's because we've got stuff already going on. It's kind of like just putting where I can. But starting in April, it will be the last Friday of the month. So that's it. I have no. What was the word you used, Dominic?
Agendas.
Agenda for this show, so it's whatever goes, pretty much.
Oh, no genre.
No, nothing at all.
Well.
Don't even know where I am anymore. No time, no existence, nothing. But I just want to do a little promotion for a friend of mine he's been doing a podcast for quite some time now. One of the very first interviews I did was on his podcast. So his name's Craig Bryant, and he does Pendle Paranormal Podcasts, but he's reaching out now to YouTube. So if you can go over to his YouTube channel and subscribe, that'd be great. So I think what he's doing is when he's recording his podcasts, he's then putting them on YouTube and not just the audio. So I have Joe looking for the links that I posted at some point this week, and I've just been sat here this afternoon just tons and tons of memes on Facebook, and I don't know where anything is anymore. So that's it.
Buried.
So has anyone got anything they'd like to talk about?
I made my mother's hospice nurse cry.
Oh,
Why?
bad person.
Okay, so I'm in my mother's room, changing her sheets, and she's in the living room, and we're waiting on her hospice nurse to get there because she's in hospice. And so in her room, she has the security camera, which is actually just the raccoon watcher, but she can actually see who walks up on her front porch. And there was this pull toward her, and I was like, no, I'm tired. I don't want to do a reading. I don't want to do a reading. I don't want to do it. So I told Mom, I said, the nurse is here. And she's like, okay. So, and the pull was like, it was really strong. Like this person needed to know something. And I fought it as much as I could, but I go in there and the first thing I say was, I'm really sorry about your dad. And her dad just died like 2 months ago. And she just busted out crying. And like, it was a good reading though. And she really needed it. But it's like, I wish I could tell people this without them crying. Like, I always feel so bad that I've made them cry, like in the middle of their work day, or, she's just there to meet my mother for the first time. So then it was just crazy, but it was a really good reading. I mean, I even described her baby coming out, not breathing. And I mean, it was deep. It was big time. Then she asked me about her kids and what I should do with them. So it was really helpful, but I wish everyone didn't, like, I know it's good that they cried because they needed that. It was like that release, but it makes me feel guilty for.
Well, it's emotional. It's not always bad crying. It's just a release of all those emotions.
But then in the end, I had to tell her she had to let go. Like, I didn't know I was telling her to let go of him, but I just said it's, she's a hospice nurse. She was pregnant while a hospice nurse. And I told her that's a lot to be growing life and dealing with death every day. Mm-hmm. And so I just told her, the man that had the intestine, that died from his intestines, you have to let him go. And I can feel her going through all her patients. And then all of a sudden she goes, oh, are you talking? And then she said his name, about her dad. And it was actually her stepdad, but that didn't really matter. But, and she was like, are you talking about him? And I was like, I just know that it was the man that had the intestine issue that died. And she was like, oh my God. And then she goes again. So that was pretty crazy. I didn't anticipate it. I never get readings at my mother's house. Like, well, I did find a gun one time, but that was a whole nother story.
But that story kind of makes me think, what are your thoughts on pregnancy and paranormal? Like going out and doing investigations or, getting readings or giving people readings while you're expecting?
I personally would never go out and do it because you don't know what you're dealing with. If you're like a medium like me, then you don't really have a choice to do some, but I wouldn't deliberately myself, and I wouldn't advise anybody if they were asking. I would not advise them to go to haunted locations, like known haunted, especially dangerous locations. I don't know what it can do. It just makes me nervous personally. I don't like it because I don't know. I don't have a good reason. It just makes me nervous.
What do you think, Dominic?
Yes.
Well, I don't mind, whatever really is that person's feelings. I go a lot on how we sense and how we feel inside. If something makes you feel okay or good, then you should explore it. If you go somewhere and it doesn't feel very good, then you should move away from it. And I think that would matter regardless of your state of your body. But I do have experiences with my wife being pregnant at times when we were doing haunted locations and bits and pieces, and I would always make sure that she was well looked after outside of that area, just to be sure, because you're literally breathing, living, operating for two. And I think that some locations I've been on, and I have to say this, I've never been scared myself, but I've seen people go through a lot of personal anxiety in those situations. And the last thing you really want if you're carrying is to be anxious about something or to be worried or under stress. So if you decide you want to, well, I've got nothing against that. But I would just say there's lots of other things you can explore when you're pregnant that probably will help you understand what you're going to explore after your child's been delivered nice and safely. So there's lots to understand, isn't there? There's lots you can get to grips with. You don't have to be out on location to do that.
Exactly.
No. Okay. Right. So I've just been informed so quickly. No one can say anything. Those that know and those that don't know, mouths need to be sealed and shut. You'll not understand when I start talking. Tomorrow's stream, Nicole has a giveaway that she's going to be doing during the show. And do you want me to put the picture up?
I have it. I can just show you.
Oh, yeah, if you can show it. I was just going to put my phone up.
That's easy too.
So, right, question. for everyone, including those in the chat and those on the screen now. Do I reveal who the hosts are? Because at the moment it's secret. I'm not revealing who the guests are until tomorrow, and we have a surprise guest as well, who's going to pop in for 15, 20 minutes.
Well, if it's a surprise and you tell it, it won't be a surprise anymore.
No, but I mean, do we tell everyone who the hosts are going to be? Obviously, they know me and Nicole are hosting, but do I say who the other three are, or do we keep it secret?
I think people might need to know so they can decide whether they want to come in or not.
I was thinking that.
Is this when I'm supposed to be quiet? Where's the quiet part? I feel like when someone says we need to be quiet, I always feel like that may be me.
Makes you want to talk.
Yeah, and Andy,
I know.
never quiet. You know,
No.
Even when I'm quiet, I'm not quiet.
Right.
I'm thinking about what you're saying or
You know
how
I'm
you're
bad.
saying it. Yeah, I'm in my.
There's
own
always
little
that
world.
internal monologue.
Absolutely. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I think we all need a little bit of thinking space from time to time. But
Yeah.
if you're going to attract an audience, they need to know what they're watching before they come to watch it. And if you don't tell them what they're watching, they might as well go and watch the football.
Yeah, but then they're going to miss out. Right. So tomorrow is going to be pure paranormal.
Okay.
Well, 99.9%. It's going to be ghosts, ghost hunting, ghost investigation, paranormal investigating. Everyone who's coming on has done, including myself and Nicole, has done or is involved with some sort of paranormal investigating, whether it's private, public, on TV, in the US, in the UK, in Canada.
Yeah.
So it is other than one person, but I kind of thrown that in the mix just to that black sock in a load of whitewashing, if you know what I mean, or that red sock.
Okay. I
Turn
say
it all pink.
say it because now I have to know.
Now you said it, you gotta say it.
Now I
Sorry?
have to know.
Now you gotta say it now.
Yeah.
But people in the chat are going, I don't want to know. Don't
Oh,
tell
well,
us.
you know,
Oh.
I can't see the chat, so I can only vote for me.
Yeah. And Andy, the other thing is, right, if you want to get tonight's audience on tomorrow's show, then they got to know a little bit more, haven't they? Even if you give them anagrams or a little bit of a tease like you're trying to do here, you need to give them a little bit extra just so they know what they're coming in for.
Well, at the moment, there's only Nicole that knows who the hosts are. And there's only me and the guests that know who the guests are. But the guests don't know who the other guests are.
That sounds like a lot of shit.
Get that? Yeah,
As a-
get that.
Yeah.
I guess I feel like we
Andy.
need like a little pin board. This person knows who this person is.
Yeah,
this
it's
person
like-
knows
Now,
who
what
this
I want to know, Andy, is are the presenters all clairvoyants? Because then they should know already.
No, it
Well,
doesn't work that way.
okay, right. I'll say you the hosts are, yeah?
Yeah.
I'll give the
hosts.
hosts, but not the guests.
Okay.
So, hosts, yours truly, Mr. Dominic Zenden,
Yay.
myself and Nicole.
Mm-hmm.
We have Amanda Quill,
I know that
who
name.
does, I think she did Haunted Hospital. She goes out doing private and public investigations. She's from Canada. She lived in Scotland. She won't mind me telling you, she was
Oh, I
adopted.
think I know who
So
that is.
she lived in Scotland for quite a while, but now she's back in Vancouver. So her time zone is actually 4 a.m. start time.
Wow.
Yeah. So she's starting at 4 a.m. tomorrow. So she's on, and Sarah from To Investigate. So all five of us are going to be doing the full 10 hours. And there will be food breaks, Dominic. Don't worry.
Well, no, there will be, but yeah, I mean, it's whether you eat on camera or not. But see, I'm not a glutton. I don't sit here with bags of sweets and shoving them in my mouth. But I know that if I don't eat, about 4:30 in the afternoon, I'll fall asleep, and you'll be saying, "Dominic, what do you think of this?"
That is full of food for
I
tomorrow.
have snacks
I
all
hope-
around me.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be like this, and I'll be.
Yeah.
I'll have my dinner, my knife and
As long-
fork. Yeah, I will.
As long as I've got it there and I know I can get it, I'm fine. Whether I eat it or not is another story. But I know I'm going to be in the house on my own tomorrow. So I'm not even going to be able to like ding my little servant bell and get someone to bring food up because there's nobody else about.
And you won't be on your own. We'll be
You're
with
going to
you.
get in trouble for that.
Yeah, but you're not going to be
Yeah.
coming around my house and feeding me, are you?
Oh, I'll ring
It's
up
going to be
some
interesting.
sort of takeaway service and get you a pizza. You know.
Yeah.
Because afternoon for you guys is 7 a.m. for me.
Yes.
Yeah, I know
Yeah,
you're
that's-
up early. It is a real, because I normally end up on the other end of this. I normally end up in Los Angeles, like at 10:30 at night because it's in the afternoon
Yeah.
where they are, and
Yeah.
so it's good to see it switched around a little bit. It sort of balances it out for me because I can laugh at you when you fall
I'm going to
asleep.
show up in my like bunny slippers and like a fluffy pink robe in the morning.
Yeah, well, yeah, do what you normally do. There's-
Rollers.
Yeah, that's
I was going to do that, but
Yeah.
yeah, Andy. I think that would be Little Britain, not
say
the secret life of Andy Decodes. That would be a different podcast, wouldn't it? I bet you
completely different. No one will want to watch that one. No, we'll give that a miss. Right, have you found the picture?
I have it.
Oh, I thought you was getting a bit.
No, I had it sitting here.
What is that? Is that little blinking ghost?
So when I investigate, I use the little cat balls.
Yeah.
So I make little ghosts. Oh, I have to
Oh.
tuck his tail in. I have to sew it back in better. It will be back in better before it gets to anybody.
It looked like Wee Willie Winky's candle.
Yeah, so the cat ball sits up at its head, so it's off the
Aw.
ground and it's not so affected by like footsteps or vibrations.
Nice.
And the spirits
Cool.
have to like tap on its little head to get it to go off.
That's adorable.
That's cool.
Is it based
I
on
didn't know
Andy?
you actually knitted them.
I crocheted it, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember.
Yeah,
I
not
do.
an and.
I
She's
do
not
regard.
like knitting over there. She's like,
It's same thing.
I mean, same
no,
thing
it's
actually.
totally different. They don't say it's totally different. They get
No.
real violent about that stuff. Don't say that.
Yeah, so he's gonna be the
Similar.
little giveaway.
Cute.
So, sorry, go on, Dominic.
No, I was going to say, I think Nicole's modelled it on you, and it's like a
Same pointed head.
yeah, that's right, one of those real caricatures, isn't it?
Pointed head, bacon
Yeah.
expression.
Just
I
these
nearly
little
said something
artists.
to you then, Dom.
It's your own
Not
Andy
repeatable.
Ghost.
But
you
we
can, you can say it.
we we was trying to work out yesterday. So because we're going to be doing more giveaways on the show,
Hmm.
and obviously it's US UK based. Now that wasn't the intention. It just how it happened. It was a way that we're going to do it. So we had a quick chat on WhatsApp yesterday, and we were saying about the way we're going to do it is because of how much it costs to send anything from the US to the UK is like probably triple what it is from the UK to the US. If there's anything to give away for the US viewers, Nicole's going to send them out, and I'll do the UK ones. But what I'll do is with the money that comes in through membership and people in the doing super chat and super stickers, if I need to, I'll send money over to Nicole to cover the costs and what have you. So the money that's coming in will go back and it'll just keep circulating round and round. So,
That's fair.
yeah. So I think that's the way going forward that we can do it. And the easiest way, nicknames put getting it in. I can actually knit. And I can knit with my fingers.
Oh, did your nan teach you?
My mum
Literally?
was a machinist. She's clothes. She used to do covers for planes, airline seats, and anything and everything.
Oh, wow.
And she taught me to knit when I was about 5, and I've just always remembered how to do it.
Gosh, you're such a hidden talent, Andy.
I'm
Well, I
telling
can make. Oh no, I can make scarves or really long rugs. That's it.
you, one run.
You'll never be without a job.
Yeah.
You just have
But
to
the fact that I
fold
can
it.
do it with my fingers, it's dead easy. Yeah. So if you need a long ghost, I can do a long ghost.
There you
Like
go.
Slender Man.
Slender
something
Man.
like that. Yeah. So yeah, no.
You
So
can
it's
make
my
one of those
mum.
like wacky, wavy, inflatable arm ghosts.
Oh, what you have
Oh,
outside
yeah,
the
like
car
some
wash.
regular ships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Put
me
the cat
before I
balls in
said
as
it.
like arms.
Yeah. Yeah, I can do them, but that it kind of stops there. So that's my
Oh, that's
one and
gonna be
only
the
hidden
next-
talent.
Your
Well,
next
maybe-
25-hour live stream is going to be you knitting.
That's it. Ghost stories and knitting.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, could do. You could actually open the shop, Andy, of your knitted items, couldn't you? You could have
Ooh.
a selection of knitted items in there for anybody that wants to become a super fan of the show.
Yes.
Yeah, but you're just gonna get a scarf. That's it.
Yeah,
That's
you'd be
it.
like, but look
People
at the
don't
scarf
care.
from Harry
It's,
Potter.
it's no more exciting than that.
Different
People
colours.
buy people's
Yeah.
bath water. Like, they'll buy your weird knitted stuff.
Oh
It's
man,
fine.
I don't even want to
Yeah.
Buy their bath water. Where's that come from? Who said that?
No,
Was
I
that
didn't.
you?
I need to write these down.
They
Was that you,
do.
Michelle? Did you just say people buy people's bath water?
No, I said it. Like, people do.
It was
They
Nicole
buy
said it.
anything.
Say
Y'all would
don't.
not even believe the
Mhm.
emails that I get. Like people trying to buy the remnants of my drink after a show. They just want me to
No offense, but
send it in a bottle. And I'm like, I'm not sending my DNA. What if I backwash? You got my DNA. There's no way.
I made a new Instagram, like, just for like the paranormal stuff, because I was getting a lot of weird requests. So, like,
Oh,
I now
yeah.
have one that's just for the paranormal, for the show, for everything.
Yeah.
I'm
I actually
shocked.
closed my Instagram down and just did the one for this.
Mhm.
So I've got this, I've got TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. I think that's it.
Wait a minute.
There's
Y'all-
some
you
others
guys
floating
don't get
around,
weird-
but-
Y'all don't get weird things from chicks like wanting
No,
your
they're nice.
socks and stuff.
No. I had some guy message me a while back asking me, can I make a time machine? I do know how to, because he wants to go back and change. He's had a sad life. He wants to go back and change some things so him and his family have a better life.
He might need to work on his
Aw.
future.
He was genuine. I thought it was someone winding me up. And as the conversation's progressing, he's like, he's dead set. He wants to go back and sort stuff out. He was from, I think, South America. I think it was like Peru or I don't know. Somewhere right in the deep,
Yeah.
dark depths of South America.
I think I know the guy. Was he called Boris Johnson?
Yeah, so
No.
No.
no, I don't think so. He could have been.
Yeah, I think he needs a time machine, doesn't he?
Do you know that I got a
He's a
message?
washing machine.
We got a message on Instagram from Keanu Reeves.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right.
Do you
yeah.
want to hear how he sounds?
Oh, yeah. Let's hear this.
Hello, hi.
That's Keanu Reeves.
He sounds Nigerian.
Is that him?
Keanu Reeves sounds.
I was
No.
speaking to Madonna the other day, funnily enough, on Facebook. It's really strange how these people seem to come and message you, isn't it? Yeah, the same sort of people. I thought, well, must be something going on in the atmosphere with these people.
I
all
know.
I've
on
not got any
Facebook.
stalkers. Feeling a bit left out.
Oh,
Nothing.
Andy. I'll send
Somebody
you
go
some.
stalk
I'm not
Andy.
being. No, right. First of all, there are rules and regulations that I need to point out. Yeah, and the
The
list is going to be longer than the scarf. Put it that way.
The next person that wants the rest of my drink, I'll be like, Andy has all my supply. Just contact him.
Yeah. No. Nothing.
What's the strangest one you've got, Nicole? Like not on the sexual side, but just like odd.
I can't even like pick one out. There's so many weird ones. It's just like people asking weird questions. It's like, oh, what do you think this is? I'm like, bugs. I think it's bugs.
Oh, the orb.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even get that. I'm lying, but I have to be careful. So on a regular basis, there's a person somewhere in the UK that will not dodge it, will send me photographs or videos of what he believes are UFOs.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, okay. And I have shown a few on here, and they all got discredited. It was a military doing
Night off.
practice stuff on the moors and what have you. Some people in the chat will know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to give the person's name because it's not fair. But these are like constant, and I've had to block like 2 or 3 people because it was like 20, 30 a day, and my phone is just it's like me when I'm putting memes up. Ping, ping, ping. It's like that constantly.
Andy, do you think people get obsessed by finding or trying to find things like that, become their life, just going out in the field, just looking at the sky all the time? Is it yeah, and it dominates
You
their
are,
life?
you do have to pull yourself back from that, because I was at a point where I was like, I was just, every time I'd walk past the woods, I'd be like finding myself being drawn into it, and you've got to stop doing it, and you do have to do your normal everyday stuff and not be that obsessed with it.
Yeah.
You've got to stay grounded. You have to stay
I get a
grounded.
lot of emails a week asking me about things like orbs, ghost photos. I get a lot of people sending me pictures saying, what's my aura in this picture? I get people, what's my child's aura? What's my dog's aura? I got a person who asked me what their house aura was not so long back.
Wow.
I get a lot of people inquiring, interested in the things that we have around us. And I find that people are interested on the whole about what things are. So they might be interested in what is an orb. Yeah. How many things can one orb be? Yeah. Is there a sort of a list of all the things that it actually is? You mean same as a poltergeist? How many things can a poltergeist be? How many things can an alien be? Is there a list? Yeah. So I tend to find that people have a lot of curiosity about a lot of things that come under one heading. So I don't know what you guys think about orbs, for instance. What do you consider, the real thing, and what would you consider something that was maybe just speculous?
Can I go first?
Oh,
Because my theories change like every other day. So at the moment, so as of like the 9th of February 2024, my theory of orbs they are energy of something living. I don't know if living's the correct word.
Sentient.
So what he said. It's a ball of energy that can shapeshift into what it can be seen as in our dimension. Not necessarily what it will look like in different dimensions, but our perception of what it is. So whether that's a fairy, a Bigfoot, a goblin, a UFO, a light being, whatever it is, that will transform into, but then it can transform back into that orb afterwards. Not saying all orbs, but I think a lot of them have the ability to do that.
Michelle, what would you say?
I don't know. Now I have a whole nother thing I've got to research. Thanks, Andy, because I'm not ADD enough.
I aim to please.
Michelle?
I'm an orb snob. I see everyone throws me these orbs all the time, and I'm like, nope, dust. Nope, bug. Nope, lint. Really big dust. Whatever. But I mean, to me, they're nothing. Don't tell anybody. I mean,
that's controversial. That is, Michelle.
Right? How do we time out Michelle?
I've never ever heard anyone be called an orb snob before, but I
actually have been, thanks to Becky in Rhode Island. But it's just that everybody is so desperate.
Can I tell you my orb story? See if you change your mind.
Well, I do believe that they are something, but to me, they
that's
aren't, like, they don't interfere with me or my doing at all. Like, I don't. An orb is.
See, no, I'm busting the talk now because I want to share something. Yeah, but I want to listen to you because it's quite enjoyable to listen to you as well, Michelle. Because I want you to keep talking. I want to just keep you going. Have you got one of those cords I can pull? Just keep you chatty, Michelle, or something like that.
My string is cut. It just goes on a loop all the time.
It does what?
It just goes on a loop all the time. I cut the little circle off my string.
It does what?
It just goes on a loop. It just see, really, really, Dominic.
3 times, Michelle. Even I got
that. Whatever.
You,
I'm good to be gullible every once in a while.
yeah. Well,
Nothing
it
wrong
used
with
to be
that.
in the dictionary until it took it out, didn't it? The whole part of orbs is really interesting to me because I think it's sentient plasma. And if you were going to travel the universe, how would you travel the universe? You would travel it in the smallest form possible, wouldn't you? You
Yep.
would put yourself into a little ball of plasma
Right.
and you would zip as fast as you possibly could
Right.
from planet to planet.
Yeah,
Now,
least resistance.
yeah, it's just the perfect way of traveling, isn't it? So, what if our souls are little balls of plasma?
Yeah.
And we can, when we're out of body, we can travel faster than thought because if we can think it, we can go there and so on. And so, it could be possible that we are plasma, and that could be part of who we are as well.
Can I just change my theory and put a timestamp on that last one because it's just changed at 21:06?
It's incredible. Look, I didn't know much about orbs until I woke up one night and my room was lit up with 2 orbs over my head. And I actually saw them. They were like the size of like a small orange, a tangerine, but they were actually bright yellow. And they literally it woke me up because the room was lit up. And, and after that, I really wanted to go and find out a little bit more about them and what they were. And I wasn't interested in digital cameras with dust on and, specks of water and moisture and everything. I wanted to know if there was something behind it and that these things that I witnessed personally were and what they were. And I sort of went into it quite in depth and discovered that a lot of people see these balls of light. They see them around lots of places in America, lots of haunted buildings. There's a lot of places where balls of light can be seen transferring into bodies and ghosts and all sorts of things.
Right.
And Skinwalker Ranch, they actually say they see a lot of ghosts, a lot of orbs. Mm-hmm. So what is it if it's the one form of transport across the universe that is actually universal to every species?
Yeah.
And every species has the possibility. Now, there's another bit about orbs that have really interested to me as well, and they're rods. And these are long, thin lines.
Oh, yes.
Have you ever seen them on the Ghost Investigation?
Yeah, with the little spikes on the sides.
Yeah,
they look like salt and vinegar spirals.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I've seen that. I've seen the elongated light before that's almost like
rods. Oh, someone's turned it.
It's almost like a wand. It's stupid telemarketers, but it's almost like a lit wand with a point at the end because it goes vibrate. I've seen those a lot, but I haven't seen, except on camera, I've seen, and that's fine. But as far as for my experience talking to spirits and stuff, I have no interaction with orbs. Like they're nothing to me.
Can I ask you then, Michelle? Because I mean, again, I do work as a medium, but I don't have the same belief structure as a lot of mediums. It doesn't mean I dismiss what other people believe. It's just that I have my own beliefs.
Right.
Now, what I think is what we do as mediums is soul-to-soul communication. I think it's purely soul-to-soul. I don't really see where a spirit realm would fit in to that particular, theory. Because if we can communicate with soul, then that soul will be reincarnated. It will be wherever, but we can transfer thoughts between soul to soul. And I think really when I work as a medium, what I'm doing is I'm communicating with another soul. I'm not just communicating to a person in spirit. And as soon as I took out time out of the equation of what it was like, because there wouldn't be time outside of our planet, not as we know it, would there? And if there is different realms and different locations and things, time wouldn't really fit into those equations. I got to knowing that, we are all souls. We are all energy. We are all intelligent plasma. So we can lift out of our bodies. We are a different form of energy when we pass. And that communication that we have is with intelligent plasma. And I just can't see past that unless other people or somebody else has got a different way of putting it across or sharing it. I just think it's something that needs to be looked at by other mediums. If they want to reject it, no problem. I've got no issue with that. But if they want us to consider it, I think a lot of it will move the mediumship that we do at this moment to a different level. It just won't be about the little boy in spirit that grows up. It'll be about us all being plasma energy that are eternal and that our life never ends, and we can all communicate throughout time, throughout our time, throughout the universe.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I won't be ignorant. I've got a picture of an orb that I've got from a still photo, because all the orbs that I've seen have either been, like you said, tangerine orange or white. Never seen them any other colour.
Can I explain that to you?
Wait a minute. You've seen white, and I've only seen purple.
I've got a video of one
When I
coming
see
out of my
orbs, I see
wardrobe.
purple.
Can I talk about colours? Can I share insights
Yes.
into colours?
Yeah, that's your
Because-
specialty.
Yeah, it's what I do. Orange is always on the outside of auras. It's everybody's got an orange case around them. It's a bit like
Right.
your hard shell of your aura. If that sort of outer protective shell that you actually have to protect your energy, when people start to get that outer case, that orange on the outside of them, when that becomes worn or gapped, then they get very tired because their energy vents, it comes out of their aura. And you can actually see where people have had drugs or been smoking or eating sugars or coffees or caffeine and stuff, and it vents.
That's me gone.
Yeah, but that's the orange. It's the outer protective
Yeah.
layer. That's why orbs would have that orange around them. The purple, which is what you see, Michelle.
Yeah,
Is-
I'm just like, y'all are saying yellows and whites, and I see purple and like light.
No,
But
nothing.
purples, right, are indications of emotions and of thought. And I think that you're a very emotional lady. When I looked at you and I saw you, you're highly emotional. You're either totally with something or you're totally not with something. You're never in the middle of anything. You're really firm in everything. So your emotional self will see things in purple very easily. You'll notice it. Doesn't mean to say there's not other colors there, but
Right.
your spectrum will notice the purples because of your emotional mindset. And that's probably why you see that. It's
That's so funny. Because
yeah.
everyone who knows me would say she has no black or white. Everything's in the gray.
Oh, no,
Everything's
you're black and white. Yeah, I mean, totally.
wow.
Yeah.
Would y'all have guessed that?
I don't know.
I would have never guessed it. But I guess, it doesn't have to be like black and white would be my own perception of black and white.
Yeah,
So like
but
one
the
way or
thing,
the other.
the thing with you, Michelle, is you would put people at their ease by being able to be super agreeable with them. And then you would actually wind in a little bit about what you think, where you are. So you're very much about relaxing people first, then going in at where you are.
Then attack.
Yeah, no, but that's the way you are. You relax people. It's your natural ability. It's your welcoming personality that will relax somebody. Then you'll hit them. Then you'll give them it. Yeah, and that also shows through in your aura. So it's
How cool is that? I mean, it's pretty damn
Michelle, we're like
Yeah.
polar opposites. You like bring people in, and I'm like,
oh yeah, but you're more you mean there's quite a contrast in personalities here, because although you live in the same country, you're different people. Yeah, I mean,
Well,
you've
she's
got a
up
different
north
approach.
and I'm down south.
Yeah.
So there's a
Yeah.
big difference in our personalities too.
New York and Texas.
I don't know where you're from. Texas, yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know much about Texas apart from the football team there.
I'm
But-
sorry.
I know. That's all I
Cowboys,
know.
listen, the Dallas Cowboys is about loyalty. Okay. It's just about
Okay.
loyalty. It's not about wins. Hasn't been since '94. It's just about
Okay.
loyalty.
Okay, I don't know nothing. I just
That and
watch it.
everything is bigger in Texas. That's their whole slogan.
Is that right? Is that what it
Yeah.
is? Okay.
Everything is bigger here.
I know they
Right.
have a lot of dinosaur fossils out there, don't they?
Yeah, right by
There's-
my house. I'm 30 minutes from Glen Rose. Yeah.
Yeah, fabulous place for looking for fossils.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'd love to come to Texas because
Come on.
Yeah,
too.
can you imagine it? Yeah. Where you going, Dom? Oh, I'm just nipping off to Texas for a day.
I'll pick you up from the
Yeah,
airport.
pick me
It's
up
all
on the
right.
way.
I'm
Oh,
coming.
yeah.
We're
Have
having
a
a
road
party.
trip.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just jump on my balloon. Right.
No, I
We'll
feel like
just,
we need to have a girls' day.
we
Yeah.
just
Well,
turn into orbs
yeah.
there in
But
no
Yeah.
time.
But orbs are, yeah, that would be brilliant, wouldn't it? Can you imagine it?
Yeah.
If you, but I think we should do this as an experiment. If we're going to do this every end of month, or whatever, we
Mhm.
should
Yeah.
have an out of body dream together and see where we can go and see what we can explore. Because if we can actually do lucid dreaming,
I
then you
can do that.
Can you do that? Can you do that? You
I
know,
don't have any control, but I can do it.
do you know how to have control over? So I'm jumping subjects. I don't mean to do this, but
No, it's right, because I've got a
You
couple
do
of things
that.
that I need to show you, but I need to ask Nicole something, but I've got it
You
in my head
can.
of how it's going to work, so carry on.
Okay. All right. Well, lucid dreaming is that you have to find a light switch. So
Yeah.
in your dream, you find a light switch, you turn it on. If the light switch comes on instantly, you're not dreaming. If it comes on within 7 seconds, you're dreaming. That's how you know that you're in a dream. So you can control that dream. So
Yeah.
as soon
I
as you
didn't
know
the
your
lights
lights,
were saying.
yeah, as soon as you know it's 7 seconds, then you've got, wow, I'm in a dream. Now I can do
The thing-
whatever I want.
But the
Yeah.
thing is with mine, as soon as I realise that it's not dream and it's more real, I feel myself flying back into my body.
You got to train yourself not to
And
do
it's
that.
no.
That's
And
fear.
it's usually on a work day as well, so not impressed. Never at a weekend when I've got all the time in the world.
I don't think I do
Well,
Right.
that.
So
Yeah.
question for Nicole, because Nicole has a lot of orbs usually going on when we're doing a stream. Was it the first time I interviewed you when Al put us in touch and there was orbs going on, and then it was the second time when you came on with the rest of the team, there was some there, and then it just stemmed and it
Probably.
regular
I mean,
thing.
there was always stuff, and I always have like equipment in the background. When I had the shelf there before we got rid of the shelf, I had like a REM
Yeah.
pod and cat balls up there.
Wait,
and then,
during
And
the
that-
show?
yeah,
Yeah, you can go back. We've got timestamps on them, but they're usually white. Everyone in the chat, well,
Mhm.
pretty much everyone in the chat is like, "There's one that," and my phone's going off while we're doing the stream because people are sending them me of a screenshot and where it is, and then I'll upload it onto it so we can all look at it. So, but this is for Dominic. So I wasn't ignoring when you was talking before. I've got a load of pictures on the computer. I just had to find what folder they was in, relevant for what we're talking about now. So these were sent in from one of the viewers. I won't say his name. I know he wouldn't mind, but I'm not going to anyway. And I'm going to put these up just for Dominic or Michelle. And I don't think I've shown you either, Nicole, because these are from like probably about 18 months ago. I have got a lot more than this. This is just 4 that he emailed to me. I think I've got about 12 in total. So I'll just go through them and let me know what you guys think. So here we go. So these are from inside his house. He's used different coloured filters on them so they stand out and they're not blending in with the background.
Okay.
But what is the whole picture? Do you have the
Yeah.
whole picture?
Yeah, I will have, yeah.
Yeah.
So the last one is going to be the full picture.
Yeah, that's not easy to recognise because it's been played.
Manipulated so much.
Yeah, played with.
If he's in the chat, he could probably send me the originals. I'll go through and have a look in a minute. I just don't want to seem ignorant when you guys are talking, but I was trying to find them, otherwise I would forget. So this
See,
is the
when I
same
look
picture.
at pictures like that, I like to see like the original first to
Yeah.
see if I notice anything like right off the bat without
Right.
all the highlighting. 'Cause
Yeah.
that tells you like how much it really stands out.
Yeah, and I'm
So
a
this is
photographer.
so that's the full ones. Like still got a
Okay.
filter on there, but you can
Mhm.
clearly see the lamp, the table, and then that what looks
Yeah,
like grey
I
in
can't
the
be-
background at the window.
I can't tell where the light's casting because it's been manipulated. I need to be able to debunk it first.
And is that like a
And then-
curtain that it's reflecting on?
Yeah, this is the thing that I would look at as well. I would say there's probably reflective surfaces
Yeah.
in amongst that. And because it's not in focus, what you've got is you've got lots of messing about on that. If you can send us the original photograph before anything was done to it, let's have a look at it and let's give some opinions. But
Plus, what's the fabric?
Yeah, I'll be guessing.
If it's made out of velvet or anything shiny,
but that thing that looks like a possible grey
Walt monster
is. I think that was the R. But if you look in the background of that,
that's pollen.
It looks like the Hat Man. I'm not saying it is.
Oh,
I'm not saying it's not.
On that one there, Andy, that's a pollen. That's a pollen pod, because you can see all the little stickies coming from it. All the little points from it. Not being dismissive. It's just that I see a lot of photographs like that, and people send me a lot of them, and quite often they are magnified pollen.
Yeah,
right.
I'll agree
that
with
one
that.
is
these are these are from the UK. I just had to think where I live then.
And I do see the figure of the hat and all of that, but that just to me looks like
that's behind it, and that's almost like what they call it when people see objects in clouds.
Pareidolia.
Pareidolia, that's it. That's a bit of that, isn't it? Yeah.
But also, like, that's where the original picture would be good to see, because how clear was that before the manipulation? Like, if that stood out like loud and clear without any adjustments,
I can message him and I can get that on for the next time we do this if you want.
And if people have pictures they want to send in, please feel free to. But also know that if you don't want an honest opinion, don't send them in.
Exactly, don't send it.
Yeah. But it's better to know the truth than to believe a lie.
Yeah, I don't trust any investigator, any medium, anybody like that says every single time they get a hit, every single time they get a reading.
Doesn't happen.
I just dealt with this with a guy the other day. He booked a session with me, and I said, listen, if I don't know if a relative will come through. I don't know what'll come through. It may be a message for your housekeeper. I don't know. But either way, it's this much. So, he pays his money. I do his, what's up? Oh.
But that's why I like. It's all right. He'll be back. He's just changing his clothes.
We're taking over now.
He had to change his skin real fast.
That's right. Yeah, that's his real.
I've started blushing.
He has to shapeshift back into Andy, doesn't he? Every now and again. I reckon he's an alien. But the whole thing about being real is so important.
Yes.
I really want to know what's there. I really want to know. I want to investigate it. I want to seek out what is there. And if someone's got something that I don't know, wow, that's great, because we can have a really good look, can't we? Look, the alien's back.
So we can. You're right here. You're a little bit high. Your mask is off a little bit. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, we reckon you have to regenerate every now and again, Andy. That's why you disappear. So you
that's why he brings all these people on to see what they know.
Right?
Yeah.
That's right.
And I use that information to keep as human looking as possible.
That's
what it is.
I won't tell the viewing public what your aura says about you, Andy. Your secret
please
safe
don't.
with me.
Please don't.
That's all right.
Even I don't want to know.
Believe me, you're right. Yeah.
So I've got another 2 pictures that I'm going to show. Do this, and we'll go for a break. So this is from probably my best mate lives around the corner. This is not too far from that cemetery where the bench guy was, and where we heard that screaming animal type female noise that time.
Peacock.
So the story behind this is their house is the bedrooms at the front. Their bedrooms at the front of the house. Notification goes off in his mobile. Can't see anything. Then he hears like someone going up the street with a pair of trainers on. So he looks out thinking someone's up to no good. Can't see anyone. Now at the top of the street on the right, as you come in, as you drive in, there's a little cut through like walkway. But he said the noise weren't coming from that. It was going the opposite way, which is a dead end. It's like a cul-de-sac and a turning circle. Then you come back out. And there's nobody about, nothing. And then he sent me these 2 pictures. Now, this is from earlier but when he heard the noises, it was around about 2 o'clock, I think he said. So this is the first one. So that's the side of his car. So you're looking from his front door. That's his Merc on the left-hand side.
Oh.
Can you see?
What
I'm not going to
cute
say anything
shiny
because
eye.
I'm not going to say anything. I'll let you guys have a look and see what you think you can pick up.
I'm struggling to find a focus, Andy.
Right. Well, I'm going to put another picture up. That's the original. That's the screenshot from his mobile. And that's a zoomed in one.
See, I saw something before the zoomed in one, but now I can't see it. Now I just see reflections on the car.
So
Right.
what
So
I
ignore
do now-
the reflection because
Mhm.
that's night vision and that's just picking up the headlight on the passenger side. Yeah. So ignore the bright white light. That's just reflecting on the light unit.
I really would need a closer look at this.
Yeah.
Because I think
Right.
that it's
Let me share the screen. Can't remember what you do.
I mean,
Isn't
I
it?
could make out a fog-ish
Yeah,
thing, but again, if it was a foggy evening, that could be light reflection.
What I saw was like a light refracting like that.
Refracting.
Like refracting.
Right.
Words are hard.
Yes.
Like into the
Try
spot
having this
here,
accent.
here, and then a couple down like that.
Right, let me go into the folder where I keep everything. Darren. Right, I'm going to use this
Sometimes
one.
I put like a
Right, here we go.
brownish
So,
filter.
then share screen, share window, this one. Right, so we're all going to move over to the left now while we look at this. You ready? And then I can go around what I can see. So ignore that. That and that is a headlight unit.
Well, that looked
Yeah.
like an adorable little alien when I saw it. It's
But
just so cute.
if you look there, I can see the mouth, the nose, eye, the hair. That's a fringe going round there. The top of the head comes down shoulders all the way down and then goes back up. That bit is the person's hand. That's an arm coming across and down. Like that's the shoulder to the elbow and the arm. And then goes up and round. But that looks like a woman's face.
I tell you what I think that is, Andy, as only my considered view on it. I think it's an energy imprint. Something that's imprinted into the atmosphere or into the actual, because what happens is sometimes you get these where people have been, they leave their energy imprint. It's just literally a video still of that person, in the atmosphere, and something has to happen for that to be triggered or for it to be played, but that's just one still of something that's been imprinted into that atmosphere.
That when the doorbell went off and he got the notification on his phone, at first he didn't say anything. Then he watched it back and he could see this. He tried sending me the video, but it wouldn't do it. So he took a screenshot and did that. But this is what triggered the doorbell. There's nothing else there. No cats, no dogs. He's watched the video from beginning to end. I trust him. He's my mate. And wouldn't. He's not into any of this. It's not his thing. Yeah. And he sent me that, and that's what triggered it. And he didn't show me anything. He didn't say, this is what it is. He just said, what can you see on that?
You will see this quite a lot. I get quite a lot of these come through to me especially after people have been out on investigations or nowadays these doorbells, like your friend, they have the camera is triggered by an energy signature, and there is times where that energy signature will move. I've seen all sorts on these doorbells. That is, I think, what you see is some people might call it something like a replay ghost, or
stone
or an
tape,
imprint.
I call them echoes of people. I don't
residual.
Yeah. But it's an energy imprint.
know.
Yeah.
I agree completely with
Yeah.
Dominic on that one. And
But
I got
you
no.
can-
Hey,
You
we're
can-
starting off okay here, aren't we, Michelle? Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we sort of
So
I'm on board with
So,
Dominic.
would you say is it pareidolia or not? That's what I'm looking for.
no,
It's-
Paragodia wouldn't activate a doorbell camera.
No.
Yeah, that coupled with other activity gives another level to
Yes.
the picture.
Yeah, if something else had gone
I
past,
can
like
see-
an owl or a cat or something, you would see it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I can see the face there, and I sat down next to him and said, "Right, this is what I can see," and explained it to him. He went exactly the same. He didn't say anything to me. Didn't motion me into saying, putting words in my mouth or anything like that. That's what I see.
Do you know what I think, Andy? I think there's going to be a lot of people capture a lot of this stuff
Oh,
nowadays
Yeah.
that we've got these cameras, these motion sensor cameras around our houses. We're getting a lot of these coming through, and
Yeah.
it actually shows you that energy does imprint into the
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
atmosphere, and that
Mhm.
certain conditions replays that. You know, like the stone tape theory that we hear so much about. You know, things get embedded into stone or into rock
Absolutely.
or into landscape and stuff, and
Mhm.
the certain conditions actually start to replay them. I've got
Yeah.
one near me where there's a highwayman that in a lightning storm gets replayed. This guy on a horse that runs down the road, and
Yeah.
every now and again we have thunder and lightning, and there's reports of this highwayman again. So it's an atmospheric condition that plays back something that's created an energy signature.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
for me, I see energy signatures a lot around people.
Yeah.
Around
Well, that's why I wanted to show you, Dominic, because of that. Wanted to show Michelle because of the mediumship that she does, and obviously Nicole because she goes out investigating and probably sees a lot of stuff like that when they're looking back on tape and video.
Do you see a lot of energy imprints, Nicole, on things? Do you see
We
a
get
lot?
a lot of things that are similar to that, where it's like, is it something? Is it not something? So
Do you get-
that's something that I try to go back. Well, was there activity at the time that we saw it?
See,
Something
my
that-
my main question when I see something like that is it sentient?
Mhm.
That's my main. That's the thing that I ask myself: are we able to communicate to it? If we
Right.
can communicate with it, then it's not an imprint.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
Okay. If we can communicate, then
Yeah.
fantastic. It's something else. If we can't, then we're just watching something being
Yeah.
replayed in front of us.
Yeah,
Like a little-
100%.
like
We've
a
had
little
things
movie.
going on a
Yeah.
loop, like just equipment going off, 5 minutes later going
It-
off, not
Yeah.
responding to anything, and it was just residual imprint.
Doing its
If
own
we-
thing.
What's interesting for me is if Andy's friend repeats that experience
Mm-hmm.
sometime in the future, and he has exactly the same capture on his doorbell, because that would actually show that it's a regular occurrence. We
Yeah.
don't know whether that would occur every day, every week, every month, every 100 years. We just don't know.
Or if you could find the conditions needed to make it occur, like, okay, it
Yeah.
occurs every Wednesday, or it occurs every time there's a thunderstorm, like yours does.
Yeah, well, that would be like the Scooby-Doo effect, wouldn't it?
Mhm.
We could actually set up something, an experiment. So during certain weather conditions, we could go and stake places out, because that would be the ideal time, because that's when we're matching the conditions to what's been seen before.
Yep.
Now,
Yeah.
that really interests me. The fact that we can try to predict when we're going to see them.
And replicate it, because that's where science starts to kind of overlap with like the paranormal field, because if it's replicable,
Yeah.
then they're going to validate it.
Absolutely. It's what the difference between science and things we don't know is. A science experiment is just able to be repeated and the same conditions and everything. Whereas the paranormal, I don't know many people that have actually been able to repeat things that have happened time
Yeah.
after time after time. If
Yeah.
they can, I want to be there. I want to be understanding that. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
Right. Should we go for a break, or should we not bother? Just keep going. Up to you.
Yeah.
What time are you stopping?
We stop in about an hour.
Wednesday, I think.
Wednesday. Yeah.
Oh, that's what it's gonna feel like. 3
Yeah,
today, tomorrow, and Sunday.
I know. Yeah.
It's gonna
So,
be yeah, no,
right,
look,
yeah.
I'm okay to keep going.
Yeah.
I need a break. So I need
Okay, well, let's take a
Reset.
quick break.
Right, we'll do a 3-minute break and
Yep.
then straight back.
sounds good.
Okay.
Right, see you then. Perfect timing.
We're
I think
back.
that's. I just want to say again a massive thank you to Baby with a Laser. He actually made that, ad-libbed it. I don't know what you do with music, and did it and said I could use it. So massive. I love it. Just sit there and listen to that over and over all day. So
I like
cheers to that.
I don't know which one.
Really appreciate it. And so does everyone else by the looks of it.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it has really cool music. It is. I love it.
Okay.
Right. We have a question.
I love questions.
Carper. It's for Dominic. And this is a question. Has Dominic ever met anyone else? I'll move the microphone. I've got to bring it back. With the same gift as him? And if so, are the results the same or do they conflict with each other?
Okay. No, never met anyone who does what I do to what I do. Doesn't mean to say I wouldn't, because I'm sure that there must be people around who can do it. The nearest I've come is a few musicians and pop stars, pop artists that can actually see sound in color. And I've come across a few of those that are able to, when they play guitars, drums, bass, that sort of thing, they can see the colours from their instruments. And that's probably the nearest I've come. What I do with colours, the aura profiles, are so far that I'm the only one. I'm sure there'll be people somewhere that will do similar, but again, I haven't come across them.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
Another question. Question. Right in there.
I told
Do
you,
you
words are hard.
get? Have you got many people saying, "No, you're fake. You're making it up. It's this. It's that. It's whatever."
What with auras?
Yeah, with how you see them and all
Right.
that.
Yeah. No, look, I'm really open about everything that I do.
Yeah.
And I think that the important thing is people see that the authentic nature comes when I tell someone who they are.
Yeah.
And that is how they work out that I'm okay with it. You know, that I
Yeah.
can actually do it.
Yeah.
So people that don't know me might be skeptical, which I'm happy for them to be, because I would be. And I'm also the people that don't know me, give me an opportunity to talk to them, and I will share insights and bits and pieces that I just do. So people are really often very, very nice to me. In fact, they're really nice to me.
Oh yeah.
Because I know things about them they don't particularly want to be told.
I'm one of
them.
them.
When you was on the first time, and when you come on the other week, and you was telling people how they are, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, he knows you so well." It's like everything was absolutely to a T.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like, I'm so skeptical about things, and apparently about people. But like,
but you should be.
There was no way that you would know these things.
No,
you weren't like social media stalking me before the show.
Yeah,
That's how it was.
I've got other things better to do, honestly.
Yeah, but even if you did, there's no way you would know that. I don't put that out there.
No, people don't. I think what it is, right, over the years, I've got to know all the colours and the meanings and the bits and pieces. And when you see little bits of things that you know in somebody, you know where they fit in. And so you know the colours match into that. And so you've got a guide every time you look at a person. You never have to worry too much about that. I think that for me, when people are skeptical, I love it, because I really don't give them anywhere to go with that skepticism. Yeah, and that's the thing. And that's the bit that I really sort of quite enjoy myself. I think what I love doing is going around buildings that are active and sharing where the entity, where the energy is. And that to me is probably my favorite use of what I do. My second favorite use is reading photographs and people.
Yeah.
So paranormal.
Really?
Yeah, paranormal's been my life. Yeah.
You're a real life thermal imaging camera.
Yeah, well, or you mean Andy, when I worked in Harley Street, I used to get people come in there just to see me, and so I could look at where they were likely to be injured if they played tennis or played football. Because the repetitive nature of what we do actually creates little impacts in our aura. And so where we are, we're looking at things that we couldn't spot in life, but we know that they're there because we're doing it all the time. So like, tennis players, footballers, rugby players, lorry drivers, people do the same thing with their body all the time. And that's where they have the weaknesses. And we can sort of figure that out. And I find that quite useful, for me to be able to do that for people. But it's not as enjoyable as looking for the paranormal or trying to find something that is mundane. Go and investigate something. Nothing better than standing somewhere and experiencing a time slip, or going into something and finding something, or being able to share where someone may be, or it's just that sort of stuff. I spent a lot of my early years finding lost animals for people because I could follow energy signatures. I used to get the basket right, and I used to just sort of follow where the energy went, and we could sort of see what direction the animal went in. So we sort of knew where they were. I found all sorts of cats and things at the end of long van journeys because they got into a van that was parked somewhere, and the van drove off, and we could trace the energy through it as long as we were given enough time.
Andy, you got to bring Dominic Hunt and Dog Man.
Well, Dom wants to come to the cemetery where Bench Guy was.
We could track him.
I grew up quite near Andy. Not that far, really, Andy, is it? From where I was.
Where was you? Sorry,
I was in Bar Hill, which was a little place 7 miles outside Cambridge. Yeah, that's where that's where I grew up. I went to school, and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, no, I know Bar Hill quite well.
Right. Okay. Well, that's where I grew up from 1970s onwards.
Oh, right.
And I'm often back there visiting friends and family and people.
That is 40 minutes from me. If that.
It's not far. It's just down the A14.
Yeah.
So
no one's crashing on it.
Yeah. Well, that's right. But when we get a nice when summer starts, then we're going to do.
Well, you're more than welcome to come down and
we'll do it.
We can go there. We can go to the ruins, St John's Ruins, the most haunted place in Northampton. There's a few other places out and about. So,
well, my wife is from Oxfordshire, so she's sort of the other side. So
it kind of splits off to the right.
Yeah, that's right. So, but I love looking for things. I'd love to come to New York and look at Times Square, or come and look at the subway, something like that.
Park.
Love to come to Texas and look for ghosts of dinosaurs, that sort of stuff, because I always think, well, why don't we see ghosts of dinosaurs? And let's have a look where they roamed. Let's see if they can still.
It's funny you say that, because the last time I went on this walkabout where they were showing edible native plants, and the river was dried up because we were having a drought like we do every year. And sometimes I do hear like this enormous, like imagine dropping something in a thud and then like leaves shaking. Sometimes I do hear that when I'm walking back around Dinosaur Valley and stuff. And they had just found a whole new set of dinosaur tracks where the water had dried up, because it's usually pretty deep right there. And I never say anything about it, but it's funny that you say that. Sometimes I think I hear a big, like a rumble, like a big thud with leaves, but nothing moving because it's tough.
I need to go back to America.
Let me tell you the theory behind why we don't see dinosaur ghosts.
Okay.
They reckon that when the world flooded, it actually cleansed all the energy imprints. So the salt water actually cleansed it all, and so we don't often see it. We see those big pterodactyls, don't we, in the sky? Alaska.
I was going to say it. Yeah, I'm glad you brought it up and not me.
Yes. Not in Alaska, in Milton Keynes of all places.
Well, there you go. There's a few jokes can be attached to that, Andy, but I'll leave it good. Okay. The actuality is that we do see some, but I don't think people look up that much. I honestly don't.
What about Loch Ness? You think that's a dinosaur ghost?
I think it's still a dinosaur.
Loch Ness is a purely done for an attraction to sell tickets for tourists. Yeah, absolutely. I know there'll be a lot of people that'll be horrified about me saying that.
Can I just say something?
That was your thing.
Have you ever been to Loch Ness?
I have never been to Loch Ness.
There is nothing there. Not being horrible.
Up, Andy.
No. See,
I went about 15 years ago. Oh no, about 18 years ago. We rented a house out over Christmas. It was about a mile from Ben Nevis. And the day after Boxing Day, we drove up to Inverness, where Loch Ness is. And it's 25.5 miles long. So you're driving up and the lake's on your right-hand side. And you go through a little town. They're not even towns, they're villages. And it's just village, then nothing for miles, then a village. Loch Ness Visitors Centre may as well be next door's shed.
Oh.
With the Loch Ness in front, and there's nothing there. There's nothing there.
See, the thing is, the Scottish people are very, very clever. They've actually sold a lake into tourism. Yeah, and they've made this legend. Now, look, I'm willing to be proved wrong. I really am. Right? If someone can show me something,
Talking about my Scotsman.
Sorry. But there's
You know-
parts of the lake. The lake's beautiful, and there's a couple of castles and that around it. Some beautiful building. But other than that, if you want to go in the middle of nowhere to a lake and see nothing, Loch Ness is a place to go.
And believe me, the pictures of Loch Ness with the monster in have been disproven. There was somebody trying to play a practical joke back in the
series. But why couldn't, let's go to the why not, because you know I love the why not.
Yeah.
Why couldn't the water have been non-existent or recedent, you know, and dinosaurs got in underneath Mount Loch Ness or whatever that's called, and then just adapted over years and years and years? Why not?
Possibly.
billions of
Because-
years. Who
Yeah,
talking
please.
billions?
Hey, I
We're not-
need that.
we're not-
okay?
yeah,
I need
it's-
that hope that we
See-
can just
see,
adapt and
it was-
survive.
Michelle, it's not like when you said right, we have a drought every year, a bit like you have a barbecue, right?
Yeah,
Loch Ness,
same thing.
well, same thing, but Loch Ness does not have a monster in it, and if it
No.
does,
He's
I
a
will-
sweet
I will-
long neck, and he
I will
wants to
do
love
I will do a penance. I will do something to actually.
And we've got it
rescind-
recorded.
Okay, you got it on it. Yeah, I will do something.
Come to Texas
actually-
and wear a cowboy hat.
No,
Yes.
Yeah.
please don't.
I'll do whatever it takes. I
But-
mean, I'll run
but
around
also,
Loch Ness. I don't
The thing
mind.
with Loch Ness, you've got the underwater rivers that run through, and Loch Ness actually goes up to, is it the North, not the North Sea?
We need a Scotsman on, don't we?
Is
Have we
it
got
the
any
Atlantic?
Scots?
Is it
Yeah.
the Atlantic? I don't
I
know.
have the
Whatever.
blood, I just don't have the accent.
On the west coast of Scotland, is that the Atlantic? Where you're going up towards Greenland and Iceland?
Well, it's going to be over that way, isn't it?
Yeah,
Because it's gonna
so
be
that
cold,
actually
all
connects through underground caverns and all that to there.
Yeah,
but
it's-
also, Alistair Crowley had a house over that way where he was doing all these spell casting and other than everything else that he had
Yes.
going on.
Yes,
So
that's crazy.
he was supposed to do 13 different things, that these 13 different spells, activities, whatever they are, to open this portal so that we could have whatever it was he was doing it for, so we could have more control of going
Bad
through to
stuff.
different times in different places.
Bad stuff.
But he ended up not finishing them because he was going over to New York and having
See,
dodgy parties and all that, and it just never transpired. But he was doing in different parts of the world to try
That's
and
not-
make this gateway to a
that's
different
not a
realm.
good idea. That's not a good idea. Look, there's some things, right, that you can quite happily not finish.
That's not one of them.
That's not one of them.
It's not one of them, is it? You started a
No.
porthole. I'm just
So
going
he
to get
started.
a cosmic
Don't
started
leave
to-
your portals unattended,
Yeah.
people.
So he started to do this,
It's bad.
Don't do it.
but he just never. I'm sure I read somewhere he was like on this seventh ritual. That was it. The seventh ritual of what he had to do out of the 13, and it kind of left this gateway open. This theory again, this gateway open. So could things have gone through and what have you? Don't know. Bit like Montauk.
Do you know, like when we talk about being skeptic about
Mhm.
things and having to see something that really makes sense? When you see something like that, there's so much conjecture within that one subject. We never really know what is true and what is actually just made up. It's
Right.
all, it's partly fiction, partly real. It could be partly real, partly fiction.
Right.
But it's just not something that you can just go, wow, that must be real.
Yeah.
Because you'd need to be able to see it, wouldn't you? Be able to understand it. Now, I'm the first to say, look, portholes, let's have a look. Let's have a look at vortexes. Let's have a
Yeah.
look at these things because there must be something because things do come through.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to legends and stories and stuff, I'm a little bit skeptical when it comes to people just leaving them. after, especially if they're going for wild parties or do whatever they want to do. I mean, look, you might not finish one of your scarves, Andy, but you wouldn't not finish a porthole, would you? It's
No,
almost like,
definitely not.
I mean, I guess it depends what's coming through them.
Right.
What
If you
does
got
come
some
through?
crazy
What
stuff
does-
coming through, you don't finish your stuff.
Because what I heard was like what Nicole's saying. I heard the guy got possessed and went out of his mind and wasn't able to complete them because he was dabbling with so much darkness.
Different things going on.
He absorbed
that's-
so much.
Now that would be interesting, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That would be worth investigating to see what those different things were.
Yeah.
And what does its insanity? What was it? Because insanity is just a word. It's not necessarily a state, is it?
Yeah. That's how I feel about time too, though.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. People have fallen through time.
Yeah.
We don't know. There's people in the future and the past. So yeah, look, there's some validity over what you say, but let's have a look at it properly. Let's go and do a proper investigation. But let's not get drawn into all this myths and stuff, because some of these myths are pretty much there just to sell the tourist dollar, aren't they? Just to get the tourists in.
I'll do, I've got the photos of Scotland on the hard drive. I'll get them ready and upload them tomorrow and show you what's not at Loch Ness.
No.
It's a beautiful place. It's a beautiful place.
I am going to go ahead and say that my Scotsman absolutely see the Loch Ness, that there is hope, that he has adapted and made baby Nessies and little mommy Nessies, and then that's going to be my happy world. And I don't care about reality.
No, that's good, because you can have the clangers in the same space.
Yes.
Yeah, the clangers live on the moon, and there's a soup dragon. Yeah, so I'm all for that. Let's have a lovely.
Interdimensional.
Yeah.
So he just.
But you know what? We have to have fun with this, because, like me, who's aside from inside my house, constantly bombarded with, things wanting to come through or me sensing them in constant vibrations. I need to be a realist, but I also need to be a dreamer. Because if I'm not a realist, then I could be just making up crap and not realizing it, or just agreeing with crap. But I need to be a dreamer so that I can believe in myself and my abilities. I can't be. I just have to. I have to.
Question then.
Look,
if you aren't, I'll just say, if you're not open to any of this and you're not going to believe in any of it, I know we've spoken this, it'll go on forever, this debate. But if you're not open to it and you keep closed to what's going on, does that mean that you're never going to see anything? You're never going to have that encounter or that experience, and you're just going to be a normal, so to speak?
Let's just talk about us as being. Are we spiritual beings? Are we spiritual? Are we people that have a spiritual imprint inside of us? If we are, then we'll be able to manifest through thought. And that's something that we haven't really ever touched on, that human thought can create. So things like the Mothman, the Rake, things that have been in comic books that we've actually brought into existence, into the consciousness. People have actually seen them walking around their neighborhoods. Now, is that us manifesting, or is it them putting the thoughts into our head first? Which way around is it? Do they actually
kind of
exist?
like the chicken and the egg debate?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then, that thought that's in your head, is it your thought, or is a phenomena put that thought there and you don't even know?
Well, this is the thing we have to ask ourselves, because why are things like the telephone invented by two people exactly at the same time? Why would that be? I mean, consciousness.
They had to phone somebody, didn't they? So they needed another one.
That's very true. That's very, very true.
Sorry.
But no, Andy, like you, mate, they probably had no mates, so they probably couldn't.
Yeah.
Yes. So it was sort of touche. But the phone invention, right, went literally, the patent for the phone went in 10 minutes apart. Alexander Graham Bell. Can you remember the other guy?
No. I live in America. We
No,
can
because
acknowledge everybody else.
he was 10 minutes too late and no one can remember him. And that's the thing with anything like that. Everything's in the consciousness.
Antonio Mucci and Elijah Gray.
There you go. Alexandra
Google
Graham Bell.
remembers. Google
Yeah.
always remembers.
That's right. And that's the thing. You only remember the person that got there first.
Mhm.
But the same thought was with both of them. Now, the telephone was a brand new invention at that point. And that's the thing, that nobody actually has the right to anything knowledge-wise.
Right.
Because knowledge is actually in the atmosphere and it can be picked up. Yeah. So what we try and want to do is transmit our knowledge to everyone so everyone can share, with the hope that everyone's doing the same back.
Mm-hmm.
Because that makes the world a great place, doesn't it? But we know that we manifest what we think.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening now with Star Trek, with Gene Roddenberry, with the warp drive and transporter technology and teleportation and all that sort of stuff that they're now actually working on to make happen, all because Gene Roddenberry had this idea back in the 60s.
Right.
And
You know what?
Those things.
Sorry, I was just going to say there's a lot of reference lately to what's going on to Star Trek. There's a lot of Star Trek reference.
Well, it was brilliant. It was a brilliant show.
It's just,
Way out of his time.
yeah, it's just gone from nothing to do with Star Trek other than a TV show to everything being connected to it.
It's to do with the James Webb, isn't it? The telescope that's
Yeah.
now stationed, orbiting the sun, and it's actually picking up Earth-like planets in galaxies far, far away. And they're finding Keplers. They're basically Kepler E47, that is a inhabited planet. That is, it's an Earth-like planet that orbits an Earth-like sun. And they're starting to find that there are absolutely millions, billions, trillions of Earth-like planets out there.
Yeah.
And this is so exciting because what it means is our universe is actually crammed full of planets like Earth. And if it's crammed full of planets like Earth, it's going to be crammed full of life like Earth. And so we've got that exploration that we're now exploring. And part of that's to do with time. Part of it's to do with being able to travel interstellarly, from one star system to another through wormholes and transwarp drive, which they're talking about how it's actually happening. And also the fact that we're going to be able to inhabit, we're going to be a multi-planet race. So humanity, by the time in 100 years, 200 years, we're going to be inhabiting lots of different planets. So we won't just be on one planet, we'll be on lots of different planets.
Yeah.
If we don't blow up this one first.
Well, do you think we could? I mean, is it possible we could?
I think so.
You think so?
No, I don't know.
I don't know. The way we're going.
Are we not already?
I think that
Maybe.
the Earth will consume us before we consume the Earth.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like the human race. I think the Earth would be just fine. We just
I
wouldn't
think
be
the
on
human
it.
race will be
Yeah.
just fine. I think that it's all adaptation and people will figure it all out.
Do
It's
you know
just
what
gonna be messy for
But
a
I think we've done it all before, and this human race has been wiped out several times over and is rebuilt.
Isn't it
from
an
the start.
is it an optimistic thing to think that we're seeing ourselves from the future come back and looking at us now? Because that means that we survive.
Well, we're just
If-
babies.
Yeah.
We're just babies.
Yeah.
Well,
But if,
I was going to say you've got these, I'm not saying they're not or they are, these so-called time travelers that have been like 30, 75. So if they're coming back from then and they're saying about Earth and that, then we're still over 1,000 years going on.
well, I heard, right, and it's only something I read, because I was talking to someone about crop circles. And they said crop circles are one of the two or three things. They are either timestamps for alien civilizations to know what time they're coming to Earth at. So when they land on the planet, they know where they're coming into, what decade or what year. They also said that they are communiques from extraterrestrials that are unable to communicate directly to us, but have to put them into the crop circles, and they actually stay there as transplanted messages, or they are signatures of races that have gone before us, that have left something in the soil that creates these little messages. And as we become more technologically minded, we're going to understand them better.
Yeah.
So that's what I was told crop circles could be, which is quite fascinating.
I heard a man say that the crop circles are the Etch-a-Sketch for aliens. And I thought that was the funniest thing. He said they're just Etch-a-Sketches. They just sit there and make their little patterns and look from above down at it. And that image just has always cracked me up, to see an alien with a cornfield and an Etch-a-Sketch drawing these
That'd be
things.
quite cool, wouldn't it? The nice sort of correlation is that there's been a lot of orbs seen near crop circles, and we talked about orbs at the beginning, and this is what they've actually watched and witnessed, these little balls of energy, little plasma balls going around creating these circles, and they've got them on camera doing so. So that's also quite interesting, to think that a sentient orb could have been actually creating those things. So
right, we've got three, because we're going to have to end it soon because we're at the 1.5 hour mark, but we've got 3 questions all for Dominic. Us 3 don't exist anymore. The Dominic show.
I'll share.
Right, so the first one's from Elaine, and she is asking, can Dominic read his own aura? And if so, would he be able to see a sickness he didn't feel?
I can read my own aura.
Really?
Because every morning I have to shave. I don't look like a trog. So it's that sort of thing. Yeah, of course you see it. Yeah, of course you see it.
That's crazy.
Do I feel stuff? I sense stuff anyway. I'm very sensitive to people and to my own sort of self. It's probably why I'm sort of a bit of a comedian, because I sort of cover up my insecurities by making jokes and stuff like that. But the sensitivity and my sensitive nature can get to see where other people are long before they actually tell me. And that can sometimes be a bit of a problem. But yeah, I get to see me quite easily.
Right, thank you.
Because I can't read myself. I can't read about my people. So I find it fascinating that you can see your own aura. Because
absolutely.
I can't do anything for myself.
I often
later.
I've got a one of those wrists, one of those wrists that jams your hand.
Yeah.
And I'm constantly looking at to see where the colours are, to see if it's actually got any easier or any better. And I apply pressure to it in the places where the reds and the pinks are, so it actually eases the pain a bit for me. So things like that are quite handy, quite nice. Same with my wife. I can see where her pain is, and I can heal it, and by blocking up the energy, the little gaps, and just resealing it for her. Those things to me are just everyday occurrences that we can do naturally. We can all do it for everybody. Just not so everyone sees where the gaps are. You can guess. I'm sure that both of you, Nicole and Michelle, you can both sensitive to people. So you'll feel it. If you put your hands around somebody, you'll feel where their energy centers are. Even if they didn't say, you'll feel it. So I know that we do that as human beings. That's part of what we do. We might not all see the energy, but we definitely all sense it.
Yep. Thank you. Right, next question is from Blue Shift, and it's for Dominic. Has Dominic tried Curlian? Is it Curlian?
Calalian.
Yeah,
it's that camera that takes pictures of auras.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. I've sort of studied it. I looked at it. I've actually, been very interested in how that comes to be. Basically, what that is a camera with a prism in, and the prism splits the light and sends an aura around a person. I would never ever say something isn't right, isn't wrong, whatever, because everyone to their own. But I've never seen an aura the same way as those Caladium photographs are. I've always seen them differently to that. So whatever they do, they don't do it the same way as I do it.
Right. Well, next question. Why do people give me words that I can't say?
Just for fun.
Yeah. Do you want to do this one then, Nicole?
Sure.
Michelle's gone.
We lost Michelle. Has Dominic heard of Decanon goggles and their effect?
Decanin?
Yeah, I wish I had. I wish I could say I could actually read it as well. The Canian, maybe that's the way it is. The Canyon goggles and their effect. And I
Never even heard of them.
So has he tried them with his gift? No, because I spend my whole life trying to avoid colours. I know it sounds crazy, but I like to be able to, when I'm away from it, I see colours around everything. You know, I mean, you can imagine, right, when you're watching the TV, when you're talking to your wife, when you've got your pet cat on your lap, everything is about colours. So the last thing that I do is search out items like that to help me see colours, because I don't need it. I just see them anyway. So, you know, I mean, but if it works for somebody, or it helps somebody to see the world in a different way, then I'm all for it. Because what it does, it will give people insights into what the world is outside their own spectrum. Because what we see, what we normally would see, is so much different to what I see to a degree. So what we have a lot more scope for understanding that we have a vibration, we have a frequency, we have energy, and plants, trees.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the radiator, the curtains, the table,
everything
all vibrates, all moves and shifts.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, see everything. Everything's sentient. Everything's got energy. Everything's frequency. So use them if you want to, but have fun with them. Don't get too hooked up on them, but just have some fun.
Yep. Thank you. Right, we don't have any more questions unless any of you guys have anything.
No, I just understand what Dominique was saying about color. I feel that way about the vibration. You just can't escape them. It's with me, everything. Like when I find a spot that has no vibration, I tend to just hang out no matter where it is, because there are some spots that they're just dead. They're just little dead zones.
Okay. Yeah. The best place that I find is actually on the ocean.
Oh.
By the sea. I only live about a mile from the sea. Mm-hmm. So I try and spend time down on the beach, away from the actual where the energy is. It just helps to refresh me and give me a different way, because when I'm in crowds of people, it really drains you. You know this. You see this, Michelle, when you're working with people and that you can feel the energy being sucked from you, can't you? Yeah.
Especially if they know what you do, the more they want from you, the faster. And some people are just energy suckers. Yeah. They can't even help it. They don't even have to be interacting with you, just being in the same room. They just will suck the energy. And you can see that, them pulling it. Like you can actually,
You feel stretched, don't you? You feel like you're being stretched like that and pushed back.
I love watching those movies where someone's sucking the soul out of someone. I'm like, I know that. I know that.
Why can I not see any of this?
Because you're a normal.
Are you a
normal? I'm a normal.
See, I'm glad they got the girls here because they're very polite, Andy. Yeah.
Oh, don't worry about being polite.
Oh, no, I don't, but I'm so happy. I'm so happy they're here.
Yeah, makes it easier for you.
I keep it as good as I can because my grandson might watch this one day and they're like, "Did you hear Nana? Did you hear Nana?"
I just like a little snippet of what you guys encounter on a daily basis. Just that little bit of an insight.
You shouldn't. It's heavy. It's a very heavy thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't want it all the time. No offense, but just a little taste of it.
But that's the thing. There's no on or off. Once you can do it, you can do it. And that's part of the reason I've never really gone down the psychic development thing. And because one, I'll never believe myself and then I'll question everything.
Yeah.
But you need to question. I've been into this stuff since I was very young, and I really enjoy questioning.
Yeah.
when people say to me things like, we had a conversation before we came on there about someone seeing their father coming in and sitting on the bed. I wanted to know how that was possible at that point. Are they seeing an imprint? Is it a projection? Is it their will? Where's that come from? I'm not just happy to be told it's there. I want to know why it's there and how it's there and how it's picked up upon. And I think that's the nature of somebody, I'm sure Nicole and Michelle, I'm sure you both understand that we ask the questions. That's why we are what we do. And we can actually keep ourselves in order a bit. Because if we go off too much, you said it earlier, Michelle, if we go off on tangents too much, we lose ourselves, don't we? Because of the possibilities. So it's good to be objective and also honest with what you actually are seeing, but also want to know why you're seeing it. I want to know why. I don't just accept what I see. I want to know why it's there.
Yeah, what was the purpose? What was the purpose for it? Even the random.
I like you guys.
I ask that all the time. I'll ask myself, because it'll just be random, something come through and I'm like, what?
She's gone.
But that's what happens.
Men in black.
Every time. Y'all need to
talking.
leave me alone and let me talk. But, I have to know what was the purpose. And I've found a lot of times that if I'll keep that kind of like a postie in my brain, I will realize why I was told that. It may be a week or it may be a month down the line, but a lot of times it's just like a need to know. You need to know this. I don't know when you need to know this, but you need to know this. And then it helps me in a future.
I cross-reference that with saying that I think we've gone through everything already. I think we've already experienced it. I think we're redoing it, and that we're just relearning stuff. So we might find some stuff is very familiar to us because we've already repeated it.
Can I just go not go against what Michelle said, but with all the encounters and experiences that I've had, I have just accepted it. I've not questioned. I had this conversation yesterday, the day before. I've never questioned like why did he see it. It's like I've just the moment it was happening, I was living the moment. Then it's like, all right, okay, and then just carry on. Never questioned it. Never wondered why it happened. I just presumed it was for me to see, and that was it. And whether anyone else around seeing it as well. And I just carried on doing what I'm doing. I've never once thought, well, why did I see it? Why was it me?
Do you think the difference is you don't see it all and experience it all the time?
Could be.
I know that I'm here for a reason. I'm not here for me. This particular life was for me to help others. That's it. I didn't know what my purpose was when I was younger. I was all over I'm still all over the place. But at least now I know that my all over the place is all over the place to be able to help as many people as I can while I'm here, because the next one is going to be different. I'm here to help. And that's it.
I could point out a few things on that, because I don't think we can assume that we're not doing this again. Right? That's the first thing. I don't think time exists.
I don't think time.
And I also believe that to experience is such an important thing, because everything we experience, we store in our memory.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's all that's left of us when our body goes, is our memory. So what an apple pie tastes like, what it's like to talk on a chat show, what it's like to experience love. All those things that we have here in our human bodies, our mortal bodies, is the memory. That's what we're left with. So I think we should question, because we can't do it when we're actually just energy. So we can question now, we can go and experience things differently. But if we don't do that, we might not get the chance when we're just pure energy forms.
Right.
That's how I see it. Yeah, I think we should ask questions, and we should always be very objective about where we are, always, without any. And be honest.
I think I just got used to stuff going on. It's like, even when I had an encounter, I wouldn't talk to anyone about it. I'd just it'd happen. It's like I said, I'd just carry on as though it was a normal thing to happen, even though none of my friends, none of my family, nobody, if they was having that, they weren't saying anything. So I just didn't talk to anyone about anything. But it didn't feel like I was bottling it up and not saying anything. I just didn't feel the need to share it until, 3-4 years ago when I started doing this, that it all changed.
Yeah. That if we all experience things the same way, there would be no need, would there?
No.
Right.
But we all experience things so differently.
Absolutely.
And so I think we owe it to one another to share our experiences so we can make comparisons and learn and understand. And that sort of thing, what we do, that's why we go out there looking. That's why I spend nights in cold, abandoned buildings, because I'm interested.
I'm lazy.
To find...
I don't do that.
I do it all the time.
I'm far too
I'm
old.
in at 6, out by 8. Talk to y'all later. Here's my information I gathered. Let me know what was accurate. I don't want to know about anything. I don't want to talk about anything. I just want to go in, record everything I say because I won't remember it later. And that's something else, Andy, too. You know, a lot of stuff comes through to us too, and we just continue with life. Like there's something talking behind me right now that's literally driving me mad. But you know, I'm just like, it's not his turn. You know, he can talk to me outside because I don't talk to anything in my house. This is my safe zone. If they want to talk to me, then go sit outside and wait for me because this is my home. And you know, I'm just not going to acknowledge them in the house. So I always tell them, you got to go outside. I don't know if you're new around here, but you don't come in this house. But I've added an addition. And since I added the addition, it is a hotbed in the addition because that used to be the porch. So now they're like, I used to tell them, go wait out there for me. Well, now I built a den and an extra kitchen out there. So now it's just like, you know, I can hear pots rattling in my new kitchen where there's not even cabinetry yet. I'm like, I got to go sanctify all of that and say, y'all got to go out to the other porch now. This is my house too. Get out.
This outside is now inside.
Yeah.
So go to the new outside.
Yeah. But what you don't know, Michelle, is you could have cloaked animals walking around in your house.
I'm okay with
See you later. Bye.
I'm okay with anything. Like, I'm pretty sure all the spirits have seen me in all of my glory. And I don't care. Just be quiet.
I'm not talking about spirits. I'm talking about animals that are invisible to us.
Oh, well, that would
Sky
explain
whales.
That's going to be a whole nother show.
Sky
would
whales.
explain a lot.
We
That's
need
our
to
topic
do
for
one
next
on
time.
sky whales.
Mhm.
I have a lot of information on them. Don't know how true any of it is, but it's definitely worth a shout.
Is that the same as the Prince of Wales?
No.
No? Okay.
They're more entertaining, but anyway. Moving on from the politics quickly.
We're going to have to cut this. We could do a whole nother show.
Oh my gosh.
know.
We should do a marathon for sure. I could
Well,
talk
all I'm
marathon
going to say is tomorrow, initially, is 10 hours.
Yeah, clarify the time, please.
So it starts at 12 noon UK GMT, 7 a.m.
7 a.m. Eastern.
You
EST,
guys, yeah.
6 a.m. CST, 4 a.m. PST, including Vancouver side of Canada.
Oh yeah, that's
What time?
And Toronto, I think. Hey?
I don't know.
Is there a
Is that your
PMT
I
time?
barely make it. I don't even know what time. I'm in Texas time zone. We need
So
our
you're
own-
CST.
Are
So
you
you're
Central?
6
I'm
hours.
central here.
So you're 6
6
a.m.
Yeah, no. Have fun.
Budapest
when you wake
is
up.
1 a.m. 1 p.m. So 1 hour in from
Mhm.
Central Europe.
No.
Yeah. And then on Sunday, fingers crossed, because I spoke to him and I was supposed to do something last night, but it just didn't happen. Ron Yakovetti is coming on doing real life.
Staticom.
So it's Staticom, so it's real life spirit communication. hopefully he's going to be able to set it up so we can do a live experiment. Now, he was doing his show last night and they asked him to do the same thing. So if he found a way of doing that last night, because he's New York based as well, isn't he?
Mhm.
Yeah. If he found a way of doing that last night, then he's going to be able to do it on our show on Sunday night. So we're going to get pretty much live spirit box, and you'll be able to communicate directly.
Is that the
He
loud one
posted-
that makes all that white noise in between?
So
Yeah.
it used to a million years ago, but they've updated it. Very little noise comes in between.
Really, that thing will literally drive me mad.
It
Like-
used to be louder, but they've
It
taken
vibrates.
the,
Like, it doesn't
they
just
took
make
the
noise.
static out, like so
He's
they
fine-tuned it though, hasn't he?
Yeah, it
And
is.
he's got it on his laptop, so he's working out whether he can do the stream on his mobile, but there's him and his Mrs. Lourdes. So he says it might be a bit of a struggle to get two people on the mobile and see what's going on.
I think they did it yesterday because I see that he posted. So this came through yesterday amongst much more. And then he posted like a little video. So
Well, he didn't get back to me, so I'm thinking no news is good news. I will message him in about 20 minutes and see how he got on. I was just too busy to do it today.
Whatever.
But fingers crossed. I was sat in the wrong room. You know this. I was actually sat in the 10-hour live stream, wondering where you lot were. on the phone to Simon, I'm like, where is everyone? They're not here. And then I looked up, it's like 10-hour live stream, like, oh, I need to move. So yeah, it's one of them days today. But yeah, hopefully I'm going to message him and find out if he can do it. If he can, it's going to be amazing. Even if he can't, it's going to be amazing.
oh, it's going to be amazing anyway. They're great speakers.
Yeah.
He has got videos and audio of how he does it and
Got so many
recording.
questions for him to ask. That would be somebody that you could be unlimited the amount of questions.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, definitely.
There's so much we need to understand about that,
Yeah.
and to understand so much about who he is and what motivates him in the first place. So,
And they're both just like really great, really genuine people.
yeah.
They will
Yeah.
sit there
I
for
love-
hours and tell you all about it.
I love people like that because they're
And-
so interesting. They're just
Very
He's a
much-
stand-up comic.
Yeah.
He's a real stand-up comic,
Yeah.
Dominic.
Yeah.
Well, but that's
No,
I'm a sort of a sit-down, laid-down comic. I think. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I
but he does.
ever
Give
get to
me
be.
just
Okay,
let me
I'm
get
gonna pop off of him.
YouTube.
So, Dominic, let's catch up in the future. I want to talk about this
Sure.
plasma thing because it answers some questions
Okay,
that,
yeah. Look,
that I've
well,
sent. And you
let me know. We'll
later.
sort out
Yeah,
a
yeah.
link and we'll have a chat and just have a nice chat about things.
Yeah,
That's always
sounds
good. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
up for that anytime. So let me know.
Sounds good. All right. We'll talk
Okay.
together.
Right.
Okay,
All
bye,
right.
guys.
Bye.
Thanks for having
See
me.
you
on.
later. Be in touch.
Bye.
Right.
Alright.
So this is Ron and right. I can't put both their things up at the same time because they don't have enough characters. Right. So this is what Ron. So he's author of Beyond the Fray Publishing, account manager at Schwed and Sands, and co-host of My Combat Channel News, at TV host past, and stand-up comedian, and UFC.
Do you know what? He asked me to be on his show a few months back.
Oh,
Yeah.
Did you decline, Dominic?
He wanted me to be on at 2:00 in the morning, and it was just like no chance. But
oh,
it
they're
might-
all wonderful people.
Oh,
Tony and
no.
I know,
and
he's-
Audrey
he's-
and Chris.
but when someone asks you to be on the show, the last thing I want to be doing is sitting there with matchsticks. If he could have recorded it halfway between, then I'd have been quite happy to do his show. But sometimes you come across these people, and then you come across them again another time.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
you never know, do you?
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things. You can't be on everyone's show telling everyone doing everything, because you've got other things you got to do, like 10-hour podcasts tomorrow.
Mhm.
But there's lots of things that can be done, and people get to know you very quickly. The community is very small, and I sort of get to know I know a lot of people in New York now, a lot of people in California, Florida. There's great big communities of people that are into all this stuff, and they're fascinated by everything from the paranormal through to mediumship auras, that sort of bits and pieces.
Wait till tomorrow when you're meeting these other people. Some are UK, some are Canada, some are US.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
I just like meeting people, Andy. I love it. I think it's great to be around people that have their own
and
beliefs.
it's the right kind of people as well.
Mhm.
That makes a big difference, and everyone seems to be the right kind of person lately.
Yeah, I have found that too. Like with your show, like everybody who's come on is the right kind of people.
Yeah.
Nobody, negative. Nobody who's like very self-serving. Everybody.
I avoid those ones.
Yeah.
They've been only messing about.
But you mean there is a certain format that is nice to be involved with, and this is a nice format.
It's finding that format. That's a hard bit. That for everything that I've ever done, from the video into videography and photos and filters and learning how to do StreamYard and that, finding the right format is the most difficult, because you can't go, I'm going to go with that format, because you can't choose what format you're going to use. It happens, and it could be a format that doesn't work for you, and luckily it has.
You get a good team of people, Andy, that are all on the same wavelength and the way of thinking, and you will make phenomenal broadcasts, because you'll have the energy that allows everyone to contribute, and it would just be magic. It's always been that way. You get unhappy people, and it shows. Every time.
Well, there's one person becoming unhappy because she needs to go.
Yeah, well, if I don't go to bed,
I'm actually good.
Oh, right, okay.
I just meant that we're just chatting, and
that's good. Yeah. Well, 3 minutes and then we're done, because we didn't start till late anyway.
That's fine with me.
So Sunday is this is what I was getting at with Ron and Lourdes. Joe asked, is it 5 p.m? No, it's 5 p.m. UK time on Sunday, 5 till 6:30. So that's 12 noon EST. Tomorrow is 12 noon GMT till 10 p.m. earliest finish. It might carry on, depending how it goes. How many snacks Dominic put in his bag at the side of him.
It's going to be a 12-hour podcast.
No, there'll just be Andy the last 2 hours, if that's the case. It'll just be him sitting there knitting. That'll be it.
Yeah. Pretty much.
With his fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No problem.
Nothing paranormal about that, I'm telling you.
There'll be a little, for
Nothing
me,
normal about that.
There'll be a hand just waving like that. It'll be a plastic hand, and it'll just be me not there any longer. That's right, yeah. They'll be knitting.
It's literally that.
Yeah.
Andy's going to teach us all how to knit on a live.
But when you do this podcast on Sunday, Andy, if I've got a chance, I don't know, I've got some things I have to do first, but I will come and have a listen in. I don't want to be a part of it. I just want to listen to see what he has to say.
I'll send you the link.
Send us the link. I'm interested to hear what he has to say, but I'm also interested to see how he responds. His mannerisms and that sort of thing, because there's a lot of things that have been done now with technology, as you know, Nicole, with these spirit boxes and voice boxes. And there's a person in the UK called Michael Roll, who was the the head of the Athesic Society, and he was trying to prove life after life by sharing bits and pieces that were involved with people sitting in the same room and talking to spirit, and very similar to what this guy's doing. So you could ask him if he's ever come across Michael Roll, because that is one guy that is a very fascinating, interesting man.
Yeah, but isn't this the way he's done it? It's his own design.
I know this is what's interesting for me. But
so I'm so excited for Sunday.
But what it is, Andy, is his design, but it's a sort of a version of a design that was done 20 years ago.
Yes.
And that's what's interesting. He's taken
fine-tuned it
and he's modified it.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm interested, because anything that creates progress is going to get better results. But
Nicole's met him and she's meeting him again. Is it next month? This month?
We're doing an event on the 24th
of this month. Yeah.
Yeah, this month.
Yeah. So.
And then we have a few coming up. Like we do events with them quite often. We were just with them.
Yeah.
Right.
That's it's fascinating for me. It's a learning curve. Watching people and understanding what they do. I've always been into EVPs and the whole history of EVPs as well. So that to me is again another part of this. Is literally
definitely listen in if you can. I think you guys would get along.
Yeah. If he's got a understanding of and a calm personality, it'd be fabulous.
Yeah,
because it's
it seems that way.
Yeah, I like people to have a calm understanding of what they do.
Yep,
and that's always that always tells me that they do what they do very well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Shall we carry this conversation on at exactly 12:01 tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
Because you've got like 11 and a half hours before we all meet again, same place.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
right.
And then we're back.
Yeah. So for the first hour, it's just going to be us five hosting. So we can carry this on if you want.
Okay. Well,
so
we can
any
have a
questions,
chat.
Write them down. We'll have a chat and we'll sort it out. So I'm going to...
Hundreds.
Sorry, go on.
Hundreds of things. I'll write down loads of topics for you, Andy.
Yes.
Doesn't mean so we have to cover them all, but there's...
it's okay. We got a lot of time.
Yeah, I'm always afraid to jump in ahead of people in case they've got things they want to say first. I want people to be able to. I don't want to take over. And it's,
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I like.
That's why I do jump in, because to keep the flow going. I'm not doing it to be awkward or I'm not listening to what the other person's saying, just to make it fair across everyone.
Yeah, you need the balance.
So, that's all it is. So,
totally agree.
Right. On that note, we're going to say good night. We'll see you in a little over 12 hours. You can win a mini version of me, apparently.
Yeah, apparently.
See the likeness?
I love him. I think it reminds me of Frosty the Snowman.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, but I'd be interested to see how it would work in a haunted location. That'd be brilliant.
I use them constantly. I have a bunch of those that I use.
I love to see that stuff work, because it actually gives people something visual to see. And when you're doing an investigation, visualization of situations is part of the battle. It keeps people engaged. Anyway,
right. Yeah. On that note, we're going to go.
Okay.
So if you want to get all that ready for tomorrow, Nicole, and then we can just jump straight in on that. We'll carry on, and then we'll blend it into tomorrow's. How's that sound? Awesome. Right. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Amazing chat. I love doing these panel ones because they can go anywhere. And that's it. Right. So don't forget, 12 o'clock tomorrow, 7 a.m. EST, 4 a.m. CST, 4 a.m. PST, 5 a.m. CST. Yeah.
The rest, just figure it out.
Yeah, just work it out. Just get a world clock and have a look.
Or
That's it.
make sure you're subscribed and YouTube will notify you.
Yes, click notify me. That
Mhm.
always works.
Yeah.
Always works.
Then you don't have to remember or do math.
Yeah. So just sit at your computer now and just wait until we come back
Yeah.
on.
You might as well.
Right.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
going to be here. Yeah. All right. See you in the morning,
Right, I'm
guys.
going. I'll see you guys later. Take care.
Yeah. Bye, Nicole.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Andy.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everyone. Everyone
Bye-bye.
in chat. See you later.